I just want to echo what Senator Swedzinski has been talking about. This has been an issue that has been in front of us for a long time. We have not had an opportunity to have a meaningful debate in any form of committee or discussion publicly. We have not had an opportunity for members to be able to ask questions. We've not had an opportunity really meaningfully for testifiers to come talk about this. So this is our chance to talk about what is consistently referred to as school hourly workers. And at some point we talked about trying to change that name. That is a designation for these amazing people, but it reduces them to something that's not even a job description. Hourly workers, what does that mean? These are our heroes. These are amazing people, as Senator Swedzinski just outlined, who are in our schools. You know, when I think about the challenges that Minnesotans have faced during this pandemic, and there's so many, the people and the loved ones who are experiencing serious illness and tragic and heartbreaking loss, the challenges for people who have lost businesses and livelihoods through the course of this. You think about Minnesota students who've been doing distance learning and what that has meant to them and their families. It's been a huge adjustment. I keep thinking about constituents of mine who are working parents and have full-time jobs. They may have the privilege to be able to stay home and be safe to do their jobs, and they still have their jobs, and they're still grateful for that. They're also having to supervise distance learning for their kids in their so-called spare time. People's lives have been really disrupted by all of this. It's a misnomer when we talk about that we would have closed our schools, because we never closed our schools. The students were sent home for their safety and for the safety of our neighbors. But the buildings and the people who work there, they have been key to this entire transition that we've gone through in education, which is so critical throughout our state. That work that has been done by the hourly workers, these essential workers, has been heroic. It has been amazing, also by all our educators and teachers and administrators. Our schools, it was a normal February, March in Minnesota schools. Everybody was going about their time doing their lesson plans and their lessons in PE and music and sports. And everything came to a huge halt and transition for everybody. And in a very short amount of time, these incredible professionals had to completely change the way that they take care of our kids and help our kids learn in this incredibly complex time. They moved mountains. The amount of change that these folks had to go through, that they had to rebuild the way that they teach and the way that our students learn, is absolutely breathtaking. And they did it, and they stepped up. And we think about the teachers. We always think about teachers, and they are our heroes every day. But it's important to remember that it's not just the teachers, right? It is these folks who do different parts of education. And education changed, right? It wasn't just the teaching and the learning. It was also the fact that we asked our schools to help provide childcare for our healthcare workers and our essential workers so that they could do that important work and know that their children were being taken care of. Families and children who needed meals, breakfasts, lunch, our schools stepped up and delivered and made those meals available in a way that they've never considered doing it. And they did it in a matter of days. It's incredible what they were able to accomplish. And when you think about the job of teaching and learning and supporting the students, these folks who do this job on a relatively part-time basis, they were just as involved and just as supportive in making that whole process work while we performed these miracles. And I think it's important that we recognize that. It is something that I think we're still sort of in the middle of, and it's hard to step back and pull back and realize just how momentous this has been, how significant a change this has been. But these folks stepped up, and we owe it to them to value the work that they do, and we owe it to them to support that work. And so I think it is a huge oversight that this has been removed from this bill. It is a huge oversight that we have not been able to address it here in the Minnesota Senate and have a meaningful conversation about it. And so I just wanted to stand up here today and just give a salute and recognize that even though they're not in the bill, they are in our hearts, and we care about them, and we're going to keep fighting for them. Thank you.